Greetings and salutations, everyone. Of course, I'm Roger O'Neill of Shaw, Captain Reverend. Um, yeah, so I just want to give a shout out to you all, especially those who are, in my circles basically, um, pretty much in support of this move. In fact, as a Christian, we are oftentimes challenged by, things that happened in the physical life, um, financial challenges, emotional challenges, relationships, um, social challenges, uh, and of course, physical challenges. Yeah, and we are often reminded that you know we are not in this world or of this world to stay for a lifetime, and our eyes should always be fixed on Christ as above. The scripture also tells us that this body will continue to deteriorate because it's pretty much mortal. It's temporal, you know, and so whatever is temporal was not meant to last forever. And we are assured by God that when this body deteriorates or dies, you know, we have this great assurance of a body that Paul says, "Boy, I can't describe it, but all we know it is superior to the one that we have." Because body have all kind of aches, pains, different issues, so to speak. So we know it is temporary because we're in a temporary world. And so the assurance that we have, and we should always be reminded that we are not here to stay forever. Anyway, nonetheless, um, you would have learned by now that I was diagnosed pretty much with a condition called Melena stool. What is Melena stool? Melena stool. So it is where there is bleeding from probably the stomach walls in our intestines that runs on or it mixes with the stool, right? So the blood mixes with the stool um, and the waste, yeah. So when we defecate, it comes out black because there's bleeding. So pretty much that's what I am facing at this moment in time, right? So stool comes out black. What happened to me before, which was last week Wednesday, was that I felt very weak. Experiences were like feeling of nauseousness, um, dizzy, lightheadedness, or feeling dizzy, weak, um, you know. And so when I came home, I had to use the toilet, and my stool was black. It was rather frightening. I had black, expecting anything else except black, but it was black. Anyway, um, so my mom is the doctor and her brother. So I immediately wrote them, explained the situation, and they said, "Boom, you need to talk to your doctor ASAP tomorrow. Don't wait. Let's go straight to the doctor. Don't stop at the." So on my way to the doctor, um, like I think 15 steps from the car park to upstairs is his office, Dr. Harris, Eleni Plaza there. I took 15 steps. Right, 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 30, 40. And I had to stop, literally stop and stoop down because I felt like I was going to collapse. My head was spinning, feeling of nauseousness. And thank God there was a lady from the pharmacy within that plaza who was in the elevator with me. And she came and said, "Oh, hi. But then she realized that I was like stooping down and I looked, I guess, to her pale. So she became very concerned. So she was like, "Oh, let me help you. Let me help you." So she took my bag and went with me to the office of my doctor. And he, of course, confirmed that, yeah, Melena's good. And I needed to go straight to Andrews, like the hospital. Like, no. So my wife took me to the hospital, my vitals, uh, and they were like, "Okay, wow, all right, we need to do some checks and so forth." So one of the things I did was basically inserted a tube through my nostril. That was very painful. Yeah, like very uncomfortable. Right. And the thing about it is that the it's like I couldn't manage that. It just couldn't go in. So she had to take it back, take it out, and put it in the other nostril like crazy. And that was going on like I was choking, kind of thing. Anyway, eventually it was very patient and pretty much took her time, and it went down, and that was a very trying situation. All right, they checked my blood pressure, and that was like high, but not extremely high. My blood count was low, because I said generally men's blood count is usually within the range of like 13 to 15, but mine was like 12 point something. And can I tell you, at the end of that session, when they did it again before I left, it went to 11 point something. So I was told that they had to come back on Saturday to do it again. So when I went back on Saturday, it fell to 10.7 or 10.3, don't remember exactly. So of course everybody was like pretty panicky. My relatives were like, "You gotta come to the States to do this process." Doctor were like, "We don't know if we will have that much time. This is something very serious. We may have to do a blood transfusion, or depending on what we see happening, his blood count is has decreased. We don't know what it is going to be like now, so we have to do another check." Lo and behold, my blood count went to 10 point something. That was Saturday. However, like my pressure and everything else was pretty much normal. So when I inquired more about the situation, falling blood count, etc., what needs to be done, and reminiscing on what was said by the different doctors that are convinced with the fact of blood transfusion was a possibility. So I said to myself, okay, if it is that I have an appointment with a gastroenterologist who will then be checking the intestines and trying to find where the possible bleeding, the source of the bleeding, right? Or where in the body, I'm losing the blood. I said to myself, let me start making an appeal just in case. So pretty much it is always, as I said, it's good to have and not need it than to need and have it. So I basically asked the persons who I knew if they could ask around, right? Just in case, because I may need it. So that's pretty much where we are. However, I made a call speaking with my Dr. Mills at this point in time. I'm preparing to do that procedure. So they were saying that I may not need. They know that the blood transplant there, so they're going to sedate me, and then a camera will be inserted in me to check to see, where if they can find where the beating is occurring. So I don't know what the situation is, but nonetheless, that's pretty much what I'm seeing at this point in time. So I want to thank those of you who have chosen to, donate blood. So it's just a matter of have in the event that you need, and not have to be concerned about that. So just want to say thank you again for your support and prayers, and just continue to pray for each other that we have the strength and maintain faith on proclaiming the gospel of Christ and trying to win souls for its kingdom. Alright, so God willing, chat again. Peace out later.